Now, everything old is new again. America's entertainment pop culture talk show with Douglas Viviani and David Cohen.
Welcome to Everything Old is New Again. This is Douglas Viviani with the ever mischievous David Cohen.
I don't know how mischievous I am, but okay. Why am I mischievous?
Well, I'll tell you why. We had a meeting about this. Where were you? You didn't attend the meeting. I was sitting there by myself. This is our April Fool's show. April Fool's Day show.
You sit by yourself a lot.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do. You're getting into the spirit, Dave. I love it. I love it. So today
Yes, because you sound like a fool when you say that, but I understand what you're saying.
All right. Well, today, as I said, is our April Fool's Day show. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff, mostly Star Trek, but some of it is going to be about April Fools. We're going to take a look at certain audio clips or listen to them, but I like to say take a look, and a smidge about the subject matter. We're also going to spend the next I would say 3 shows on the history of April Fools. It'll be a 3-parter going back from the caveman days.
Oh, the history.
No, in all seriousness, Dave, we won't. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the history. We're going to explore the upcoming 2017 TV season, and we can expect the shows that we expect to produce, and you're eating already and causing trouble.
Yeah, it's lunchtime.
We have the inside.
Please get through the introduction.
We have the inside word on a number of new TV shows, right? You and I are both clued in to. Are you enjoying the Pop-Tarts?
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of shows are being reboot for 2017, which fits perfectly into our theme of Everything Old is New Again. And go to our website, everythingoldisnewagain.biz.org.com. Whatever you find works.
You just said it once. Usually you said it twice. I don't know why you just said it once. Everything old is new again. .biz.
.biz. Yes. There you go. But again, before we do all this, it is April Fool's weekend. We're going to have a lot of fun here today. And let's explore first. Like I said, it's going to be a 3-part show about what is April Fool's. Let's really roll up our sleeves, as it were, and get into it. So we have a special guest, Bradford Wells, who, as you know, helps us out with certain segments of the show, and he's going to explain a little bit about the origins of April Fool's Day.
The predominant theory holds that it dates from about 1582, the year France adopted the Gregorian calendar, which switched the beginning of the year from what is now the end of March, around the time of the vernal equinox, to the 1st of January, according to popular law. Some folks, out of ignorance, stubbornness, or both, continue to ring in the new year on April 1st and were made the butt of jokes and pranks for their foolishness. This became an annual celebration which ultimately spread throughout Europe and other parts of the world.
Bradford, I can't help but think you have a little bit of a cold, or there's something a little bit off about you today. I'm not sure what it is.
Well, at least I read it correctly and it didn't ask somebody to turn the page for me.
Ah, nice. Well, let me...
Can we get to the show? Can we get into the show,
I
please?
don't remember, Dave, you eating food like that incessantly over the show, but okay, that's fine. Let's move on.
That's because I'm usually eating yogurt.
Let's move on more with the history.
Doesn't make any sound. You get it? Yogurt's
yes,
quiet.
Yogurt is quiet, right? Which is what I wish you'd be for just a few minutes. So, again, delving into the history, let me just let you know, if you need to change the station for the next 5 minutes, please do so, because I'm going to drone on incessantly about things that nobody really cares about. Let's see. A long time ago, back when the world was lit only by fire, pranks had a certain time to expire, and jokes after that time would bring bad luck onto the head of the perpetrator, and those who failed to respond with good humor also had bad luck brought upon themselves. So there's some seriousness behind.
So you had to tell the joke before 12 noon.
Before 12 noon. That's right.
Okay, it's right there in writing, but it was ignored.
Yeah. Well, I found it in my favorite source, Wikipedia, as you know, we all know is always 100% correct.
Of course.
And I come off sounding like I did all kinds of research on it when obviously I didn't.
So
What
now,
else you
not
got,
doing
Dave?
any research and looking on this piece of paper, I could see that on April 1st, 1967, the British astronomer and radio presenter over the BBC, Patrick Moore, had a rare this is his version of an April Fool's joke, said that there was a rare alignment of the planets Pluto and Jupiter at 9:47 a.m. So he told his listeners that gravity would be nullified and everyone will feel weightlessness at that moment. So on 9:47, when he declared that over the radio, he said, "Jump now," and the switchboard lit up where people reported the experiment had worked. And they felt weightless.
Incredible.
The dopes.
Do you remember in 1998, Burger King with the left-handed Whopper? It was designed so that condiments would drip from the right side of the burger rather than the left for the benefit of those who are left-handed.
I'm going to stick with the radio disc jockeys in 2013. In Florida, the hosts were taken, believe it or not, off the air and threatened with felony criminal charges after warning listeners that dihydrogen monoxide was coming out of their faucets. Guess what that is? That's water. These listeners didn't understand that, and it caused a panic.
That's really enthralling. Anyway, well, let's talk
It's
a little
mischievous.
bit.
My name was mischievous.
You were
remember?
mischievous. You're
Yes.
very mischievous today. I'll
Thank
give you that. How's the Pop-Tart going? You almost done over there? Or what's...
I'm on to my M&Ms at this point.
There's no way I have ever seen you eat like that. But okay. Now, next on the agenda.
Yes.
Usually I come loaded with clips. For some reason, I have no clips today.
Well,
so
it's April Fool's. Maybe that's what the whole thing is. It's
Could be.
opposite of what we usually do. It's the April Fool's.
I like it, Dave. I like it. You are my
I
right-hand
tell
man.
you, when I was in school, I remember what we would do. The teacher would sometimes come into class. They would be out. We would come into the class before the teacher walked in. So we would hide under the desk or in closets, and the teacher would come in, and there'd be no kids in the class. You remember that, doing that? I don't know.
No.
Did you do anything mischievous? We went to school together. I don't remember you doing anything. As a matter of fact, I think the whole thing was April Fool's. You took the day off. It was a holiday for you.
It was.
Because you're basically...
My entire family, we're all a bunch of fools, and we just decided not to go to school or work that day. But I tell you one thing I've done. This is kind of mischievous, and in all seriousness, do you know that I actually, my daughter Angelica, I played a prank on her on April Fool's Day. Yeah,
Father of the Year. Let's see what it is.
I short-cheated her bed. I short-cheated my daughter's bed.
Oh, I walked on the punchline. Okay, and what did she do?
Gee, wow, that's. I
What did
didn't
she
know
do?
there was a punchline in there.
It sounded
Okay.
like a part of your stand-up routine when you started that show, the Never Too Late, which you didn't invite me to perform in, and you got booze instead of laugh. But what was her reaction?
She was pretty upset with me, and that was about 2 years ago. And she hasn't talked to me since.
Has
but-
she understood what April Fool's is? Maybe she should listen to the show and hear the history of what it's all about.
Yeah. She hasn't heard any of our show.
Did you know that
Sadly.
Hunchback of Notre Dame?
We're doing more facts now?
Yes,
Okay,
the
here we
Hunchback
go.
of Notre Dame has a scene. The beginning of the show is the Fool's Parade, and that is what they did in the Middle Ages. They had April Fools, and they would bring some goof from the community and crown him king for the day, and he was the April Fool. Just wanted to let you know. I know I've done my research. I take my time. I went to the New York Public Library on lunch, and I've looked this up.
Do me a favor, go back to not doing research. We're going to step out for a minute. When we come back, more April Fools.
You want one?
Actually, looks pretty good. All right, so we're back. Dave, I don't know. I just feel like I'm not getting the kind of support from you I usually get. Your mind seems to be elsewhere. You're interrupting, you're eating. You don't seem with me. What's going on?
It's one of these that reminds me of The Odd Couple. Remember that Odd Couple where they switched roles, the two?
Felix became Oscar, Oscar became
Right.
Felix?
For some reason, I don't know what it is. I feel that that's somewhat reminiscent of what's happening now. And there were caricatures happening between the two parties, and they kind of over-exaggerated each other's, what would you say, characteristics.
That's interesting. I think
We should
if it
do a
was-
show on that. We should do 12 shows on The Odd Couple.
We should.
Didn't they
Why
just
not?
do a new series? Why isn't that on?
Why
on
haven't
the
we
doc?
talked about the new series?
I think it was just canceled. Was like after
Oh,
8
right.
episodes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, the only thing I didn't do differently today that I usually do, Dave, is cut you off every 30 seconds. But other than that, I think Yeah, that's the only thing that
Well,
feels a
that's because
little weird
I
to
had
me.
interesting things to say this time. That's the difference, you see.
Nice.
I
didn't hear any, but if you think so, sure.
So tell me about Ben. Have you ever done any kind of... Wait a minute. Have you heard
Stay in
me tell you
character.
any stories about Ben growing up? I've never done one April Fool's joke on him at all. So I'm wondering, did you do anything with Leo? I should have said anything with your 3-year-old? Like you give him soap that turns black or anything like that?
No, I mean I locked him in a closet for a week. Does that count?
It could be the reason why he cries at the drop of a hat now. At this point, I guess, right?
Didn't mean to go
Afraid
there.
of the dark.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. All right. Well, listen.
Father of the Year.
When we come back, we're going to talk about those 2017 reboots. Stay with us because there's some exciting news we have for you on the other side.
Oh my God,
Everything old is new. Everything old is new again.
.biz.
You're listening to Everything Old is New Again, America's entertainment pop culture talk show with Douglas Viviani and David Cohen.
Hey, there's an ice cube in your sock. I played a joke on you. April Fool's Day, April Fool's Day. It's a great, great day for playing a joke.
That's what we did on Everything Old is New Again. This is Douglas Viviani back with the ever mischievous David Cohen.
The real David Cohen and
Why,
the real Doug.
exactly. Why are you mischievous?
Well, because the prank we just played, for those viewers who don't know us, or, yeah, I guess for those viewers, I actually took the role of Doug Viviani when we opened the show, and Doug took the role of me, David Cohen.
Correct.
And we had some fun with each other. I had fun. Did you?
We did. This is our last show together. Because we've insulted each other too much. No, I'm kidding. April Fools, that's what it's all about. Some laughs and some fun. I think we've lost that along the way. You see some.
You and I, or just in general?
No, it's a
society.
Culture, right? People aren't really into it for some reason, or if they are, it's you see these internet hoaxes and things that are just not fun and evil. And we'll get into that down the line in some other show, and maybe next year we talk about April Fools.
But come on, I don't eat that much. You're doing the paper, the cellophane. Really?
Well, you know what it is?
Yeah, you could tell me.
You do eat in between the show a lot, and once in a while you'll be talking with food in your mouth. I can pull some clips out,
really?
Only because I'll catch you, on a time when you're not prepared for a particular comment, and there he is. And so
I did not know that.
Plus, also, honestly, the main reason why I did it because it's something you could listen to, you could hear on the radio.
Good for radio.
Yeah, it's impossible. You got to do something that makes
thinking.
sounds. So it was. Well, if I made like eyebrows go up, or I don't know, something no one would really know.
Was there anything I did as Doug Viviani that you might have disagreed with?
No, not at all. Even down to that hysterical laugh that sometimes is not so real. Exactly, you can tell the real laugh from the fake one. So, anyway, so that is April Fool's. If
that was
you would
our
like
joke.
to call in, or it is April Fool's this weekend. We missed it by a day or two for sure because it was Friday. But give us a note. See if you want to improve upon our April Fool's presentation at everythingoldisnewagain.biz, everythingoldisnewagain.biz, or oldnewagain at AOL.com. Oldnewagain at AOL.com. So on to the real purpose of this show is the reboot of television shows and movies for 2017.
Yeah.
That kind of was written into the last section, which kind of was ignored, but that is the reason, for this show. So let's highlight that with I don't know, at this point in time, talk about what's upcoming that's going to be seen in 2017.
Yeah,
some reboots.
some exciting
fun stuff. Take a look.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. The weekend comes, my cycle hums, ready to race to you. These days.
Yeah, what's exciting, one of the most exciting reboots I've heard about is Happy Days. It's actually, and I'm going to sort of half read what I've read about it.
Right. The press release we've got right here.
Press release. It's called Happier Days, right? Good title.
All right.
So Henry Winkler, Ron Howard are actually co-producing an updated version of Fonzie and the Gang.
Well, I could see Ron Howard doing it after that flop Moby Dick, which I thought was going to be a huge success.
I know.
Right? I thought that was going to be great, and what happened? So
he's going to go back to his roots.
Okay,
right?
Makes sense.
So they're getting together, and each one are actually going to make cameos as their iconic characters. But it's going to be in a present day setting, and it's going to focus on their grandkids. as high school students in 2017, I guess.
Okay.
And ironically, this is sort of the twist on the whole show. Richie's grandson has become the image of his great uncle Fonzie. In other words, like a tough-talking, ultra-cool dude, with this heart of gold. While Fonzie's grandson embodies the fresh-faced innocence of great uncle Richie, which is kind of weird, right?
I like that.
And I thought it was also interesting that they're sort of being true probably to the timeline
Right.
of how Happy Days would have played out. So it's not the kids, it's the grandkids.
And I wonder, because they're grandkids and they're doing a cameo in the beginning, if they could, because I think that dynamic would be cool between Fonzie the grandfather and, let's call him Richie the kid, like Fonzie's grandchild. And
Right.
the interaction with them and Fonzie getting upset with him being that way. And the same thing with the grandfather, Richie with his son, which is a Fonzie type. So maybe they'll do that every so often. They'll have them come back and reprise. Who knows?
Right. But it'll be interesting. I don't know anything about the parents, like the intermediary generation, but
Right.
but hey, I'll watch it. It'll be great just to see Fonzie and Richie back.
I'm game. I wonder what music they'll use for the opening.
I would
we'll have to get
think.
into that.
I would think if they're trying to keep it current, they would try to keep the music current.
So
right?
what's a song like "Be Happy"? What's that song by Pharrell? Maybe that would be the one.
Oh,
to
that's
start
true.
off.
Yeah.
Right. Happy Days.
Right.
And what's that song? Happy. Gonna be happy.
Yeah.
You know what?
No, I know. I know Pharrell. I know his song. I just can't. The tune is. I'm thinking too much of Sunday, Monday.
Exactly.
Happy.
Well, here's another
What
one.
else you
I
got?
found
Yeah.
one which I think is pretty cool, and they probably can improve upon this one. Listen to this for a second.
Exciting and new.
All right, that's the Love Boat. I don't know what it is about that song that I love, and it just brings me back. But I always would turn that show off after about 10 minutes, wouldn't you? Like you had these high hopes, and it just
Right, but there's a new spin on it.
Yes. Again, I guess a lot of these movie people are going to TV because I think we're in the golden age of TV now, we could say, right? Everybody's,
think so.
Netflix is doing, shows now, and CBS is doing the new Star Trek and all this. And so TV is grabbing these movie stars. And I don't know what station this is, but it might be one of those Netflix. I have to figure that out. But Tim Burton from Batman and Edward Scissorhands, him. He's taking the reins of the TV's favorite ship, so to speak, and putting his own spin on it, because he's kind of a darkly humorous guy. He's kind of,
Right.
he's kind of odd, right?
Tim Burton and the Love Boat. That's
yeah,
great.
I wonder if that boat's going to run into an iceberg once in a while. I don't know, but Johnny Depp is going to be Captain Stupid. You believe this?
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Zach,
I like that.
how do you pronounce that guy's name? Zach
Galifianakis?
Yes.
Who's he going to be?
He's Gopher. Amy Schumer is going to be Julie, and Leslie Jones from Saturday Night Live, right?
Right.
Is going to play Isaac as a turn on the bartender.
Oh, so she'll be the female Isaac.
Honestly, this has got to be maybe a miniseries or something. I might be reading this wrong because these are big names.
Right.
This can't be. This is not a TV series. I got to look into that. But
I think it's
know
going to
it's
be one
in
of
the
those.
works. Put it that way.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, there's another blast from the past that they're remaking.
Here we go.
Hello world, here's a song that we're singing. Come on, get happy.
So the Partridge Family, right? Listen to this promo. It's going to knock you out. You ready? The Partridge Family is back and black. An all-black cast hopes to ride the tide created by the success of Blackish. So listen, Kevin Hart plays the part of Reuben, right, the manager. Angela Bassett plays the role that Shirley Jones made famous, the mother. And this is the really cool part. To garner publicity, the role of the kids will be cast as part of a reality show called So You Want to Be a Partridge, right? And if that wasn't enough, Prince is being rumored to write the new songs for the show.
But all this kind of makes sense because when you're on the downside of the career, I'm not saying, but this could be a great thing for all of them. Angela Bassett's not been around for a while. She's been rumored as the captain for the new Star Trek show for CBS.
Really?
So I'm going to say that, and I've said that that's not going to happen. So apparently it's not because she's signed up to do this.
That's cool. That's
Kevin
cool.
Hart is pretty popular, but he's done a couple of bombs in a row with Will Ferrell and
But him being Reuben, that'll
be great.
That'll be
funny. Great. And I like the I wonder how I've seen them do this for a Broadway show. I forget the name of it, where they cast from a actually did it on for Glee. They cast the second cast one character. From
they did from a reality show.
Right.
That's right.
So they're going to do that.
That's cool.
Wow, that's pretty good. All right, we'll be back right after this. No, we're not. There's another one. Wait a minute. What am I saying? I have another.
Yes.
Let's play this clip real quick. All right, we have no time, so I'm going to go into this one real quick. It's a Pet Rock movie. That's not Toy Story, but it's from it's the makers of Toy Story hopes to do for rocks what Toy Story did for toys. It's a mix of animation, live action. The Pet Rock is an ordinary rock kept in a box, mint in box, by its owner, an eccentric. Hello. Bill Murray. His grandson's a 9-year-old boy named Ethan who just moved in with him and is having trouble assimilating to his new ethnically diverse school. Behind his grandfather's back, Ethan takes the Pet Rock to his geology class, and the hilarity ensues. The Pet Rock is left alone with other rocks, and like Ethan, has a hard time fitting in with those rocks.
Anyway, I see.
That's a movie I'm looking
That's
forward
cool.
to. The Pet Rock from the 1970s is back.
I like it.
We'll be back right after this, and everything old is new again.
Say, Charlie, why the arm in the sling?
Yeah, I walked straight into that busted street sign in front of Frank's Automat.
Well, you must have been really sore at him.
You said it, pal. I said, say, what's a big idea making a fella trip out there? I was going to sock him right in the kisser.
He's all wet. Why, you ought to sue him, Charlie.
I have half a mind to do just that. But where am I going to get that kind of dough?
Say, I know a fella just got me out of a big jam, and he didn't break the bank.
You don't say.
Yeah, the law office of Douglas Viviani.
The law office of Douglas Viviani?
That's right, the law office of Douglas Viviani.
Viviani.
That's what I said, Viviani.
He a straight shooter?
He's a cat's meow.
He's on the up and up?
Doug's ace is with me.
Is that so?
He's a bee's knees.
Well, that's just swell. You have his number?
You can call him at 631-681-1910 or email him at vivianilaw.com.
Wait, what was that last part?
What, email?
Yeah, what's email?
vivianilaw.com.
Now, back to America's entertainment pop culture talk show. Everything old is new again with Douglas Viviani and David Cohen.
Hey, there's an ice cube in your sock. I played a joke on you. April Fool's Day, April Fool's Day. It's a great, great day for playing a joke.
How do you like that music on Everything Old is New Again, David?
I don't know where you find this stuff, man. I really don't.
Isn't that great? I mean, there's very few April Fool's songs, and we did our April Fool's joke already, the first segment of the show, but I wanted to play that again because it took me so long to find one song that mentions April Fool's.
That's good. I'm surprised you found one. All right, well,
we have one more. Of these reboots, and then we're going to get into something else in terms of maybe movies and stuff. But the right now, I want to do one more reboot. Actually, this is of a movie that I think you're going to be excited about. This will be out in 2017. That's what we're talking about here on Everything Old is New Again. Let's play a little clip. You know what that is, right?
Saturday Night Fever.
What are they doing, Dave?
So this is really cool, right? One of my favorite movies of all time. So it's a remake. They are remaking it. And what they're doing is hoping to bring back disco with a hip-hop infusion. So not pure disco. So this is going to be part of a bigger craze, right? So it's disco with hip-hop infusion. And the remake is going to star Harry Styles, that guy from One Direction,
right,
playing the part that John Travolta made famous.
Interesting.
Apparently with a very convincing Brooklyn accent, according to the press release here. And what's really cool is the surviving Gibb brothers, the two Bee Gees remaining, are writing a new song and executive producing it, and are going to include a previously unheard, unreleased Andy Gibb song. That was a fourth Bee Gee brother that...
He was on his own, the younger brother.
The younger one, right.
Unfortunately, I think
exactly.
he's passed away.
Based on the popularity, or maybe when she played in the live-action Grease, Julianne Hough paved the way to play the dancer opposite Harry Styles in the movie. And some really cool artists are rumored to be contributing disco-based songs, with hip-hop.
Okay.
And those include Bruno Mars, Macklemore, and Pharrell Williams.
Wow,
So
that's pretty good.
It is kind of a neat idea, right?
Yeah, actually, that is, and for her, it's good because with Grease, she was the squeaky clean, person, and this will be a little bit of a stretch because that character, that dancer, wasn't so nice. She had a little
True.
edge to her,
Right.
and all that. So I think
Absolutely.
that's pretty cool. I would love for any of those to actually be real, but once again. On Everything Old is New Again, our own way, we have pulled the rug out from under you. Disregard the entire show to date because none of it has been true.
There's no Happier Days. There's no Love Boot, Partridge Family remake, no Pet Rock movie, and sadly, no Saturday Night.
But they should be. We got to call Terrence Winter and get him on board. Once he's finished with Vinyl, maybe do one of these as a movie or a series. Because actually, they're pretty good. I give David all the credit in the world. David Cohen, all the credit in the world. He came up with all of those, and they're very realistic. You've got some time on your hands.
It's
at work,
stuff.
I guess.
Well, I do. I have a lot of time on my hands, but also my wife Michelle helped me with some of this, a lot of it. So it's a combined effort. It's fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Well, maybe we'll do that again. If you get a hint, we'll do that again next year on April Fool's 2016. But wait a minute, it is 2017. Wow, I'm out of my place here. But otherwise, we hope you had some fun with April Fool's and Everything Old is New Again. We're going to now turn the topic, realizing that this is an April Fool's show. We want to kind of just go into some of the best April Fool's pranks that I think you could pull off that are fun, and I think that's the whole point of this show and of April Fool's. Just have some fun with family and friends. We don't need any malicious stuff. There's enough going on out there, but I think you can have some fun, like super gluing a couple of coins onto the ground outside your house.
I never tried that.
Enough, but yeah.
That's pretty.
You walk out on the way to wherever, and somebody goes down and tries to pick up a coin off the ground. They can't pick it up. I mean, it's just...
And then you see like how much they struggle, like how desperately they want that coin.
They need that coin. They got to have that quarter, I don't know. It's pretty good. It's easy to do, so give that a shot.
I have one for younger kids, to play on younger kids.
Right.
There's a mashed potato sundae. So you make the sundae the way you would do an ice cream sundae, except instead of vanilla ice cream, you put mashed potatoes. You put it in the freezer so
right.
It feels cold, and then watch the you'll delight as your kids make a sour, disappointed face and never see you as the good parent you're trying to be. A lot
and
of
you'll
fun.
scar them for life
Exactly.
against ice cream or against potatoes or both. I don't know. Another one along those lines is pretty cool. You could take a couple of old sticks that you have for the lollipops that have been used, let's say, put on some broccoli tips on the tip of it instead of the candy, and take the wrapper and put the wrapper around the broccoli tip, and so you give them as a lollipop, and they open it up, and instead of it being
broccoli,
it's broccoli.
Nice.
It's a nice one. I don't know. I like that.
And it's nutritious. A nutritious.
Leo
prank.
would love that because he actually loves. I could
He likes
open up
broccoli?
a can of green beans, pour it out, and he eats the whole thing like they're French fries.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Good for him.
Whatever it's worth.
That's great.
Yeah.
I like that. Here's another one I found. If you take again, another prank to play on your kids. Take toilet paper and stuff it into the toe of your kid's slippers or sneakers, and watch the hijinks begin.
You got to be there to tape all these things. You put them on.
You have to get the kids' reactions,
exactly.
right?
I have a great one. If you have kids that are young enough, they're asleep, that you can lift up, and if you have two or more children, this only works. It wouldn't work if it's an only child. I guess you could. Anyway, you take the child and switch them when they're asleep the beds. So when they wake up in the wrong bed.
Oh wow, that's upsetting.
It really is. I will do that and see how Leo reacts. He probably at 3 years old would start to cry. And
I have a feeling that you came up with that on your own.
I did.
I love it.
I love it.
How about this one? Try this one, right? When you're making lunch for your kids in the morning, what you do is you make them think that you gave them a moldy sandwich. So you put, you could buy a sandwich bag. They sell prank sandwich bags that have green markings on them. So when you see the bread and the sandwich through it, it looks like the mold is on the bread itself. Again, you'll delight.
That one you won't be able to. You'll send them to school with that, and they'll be ostracized for years to come.
And you'll delight in your kid's principal calling you up and reporting you to child services.
Here's one. I like this too. Usually, you give your kids juice, right, in a glass, if hopefully, or even wherever you make Jell-O instead of the juice. but put put it together with the straw in it, and you give it to them, and you watch as they try to enjoy their favorite beverage.
How did we get on pulling pranks on kids? This is taking a very dark turn.
Yeah.
I like it.
There's another one. Let me just skip to another one.
Oh, yeah.
Which I love. You could, they have Captain Crunch or whatever cereal they like,
Right.
but you could take the innards, that bag out of the cereal box. So switch their Captain Crunch or whatever it might be with a healthy type of Life cereal or whatever it might be, and watch them pour that into their dish and see if they are happy with the result.
Yeah, I don't think they'll eat it, but it's worth a try. It's a good try. How about, I found this one, same subject on breakfast cereal. Freeze your kids' morning cereal. You know what I mean? So pour the milk in, stick it in the freezer, and then again, delight in their attempts to stab a spoon through frozen milk. And,
I think it's great. You could also blow up a balloon and use Cool Whip on it and decorate it as if it's a cake, and then have them use a knife to cut into it, and it'll pop all over the place.
I like that one.
That's a good one.
That's evil.
All right. And we'll be back to discuss the worst April Fool's pranks ever created when we return on Everything Old is New Again. April Fool's edition. Listen to that song.
Exciting and
Happy. So, do you have any real April Fools that you could tell in 2 minutes or less, or no? Jokes or pranks?
Yeah, there was a guy at work who was trying to rent out his apartment, and I called the number using my British accent voice and told him that I was a wealthy English businessman who was willing to overpay for the rental. And we made sure that our boss was in on it, and he became unavailable. So my boss would call the guy into his office, and I gave this guy, he had to call me back in 1 minute or the deal is off. So he's frantically trying to get out of the meeting with my boss, and the boss is not letting him out, and he's panicking, and I felt really bad because he missed the call. He tried to call again, and I picked up the phone as the potential buyer, and I said, no, sorry, mate, deal's off. And he was just, he was crushed.
And that was your boss was in on it?
He was in on it.
Coworker.
No, the coworker had no idea what was going on. I was pulling the prank on the coworker.
Right.
My boss was in on it. He knew what I was doing.
Right, so your boss was keeping him in that meeting on purpose.
Yes, exactly.
Is he still your boss?
No.
What lawsuit did he ousted him from his position?
I mean, it came off so beautifully. I mean, he was so upset and frustrated, but I felt horrible.
And then the worst part is on something like that when you've got to present that like April Fools and see the tears stream down a 45-year-old man's face. It's just
that was cool.
That's the one you remember. Is that guy still working there?
No,
they're both gone.
They're both gone.
All right.
Well, not for many reasons, because of the prank, but yeah.
Well, I'll leave it there. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But have some fun on April Fools. We're going to have some fun with looking at the fools on April Fools. Guys that created bad pranks on everything.
This is Everything Old is New Again, America's entertainment pop culture talk show with Douglas Viviani and David Cohen.
The theme of the 1970s Night Stalker.
Oh, is that what that was?
I had to throw that in, and what I'm doing is that's a little foreshadowing to the end of this section of the show and the show itself, where we are going to discuss real reboots in the making. We're going to kind of revitalize our reputation here.
No trick this time.
Because we've been playing with you on April Fools, and enough is enough. We're going to go get serious here. And the first thing I want to talk about are April Fools pranks that have gone wrong. We've got a couple of
actual
them here. Actual pranks. I think, David, you have one there that's pretty funny.
It's kind of sad, but it ended up well in the end. So there was this Hooters waitress. They had a contest at a local Hooters bar in Panama City, Florida, and whatever waitress sold the most beer for the month was promised a free Toyota, right? Pretty cool. So she won. I won't disclose the name. They blindfolded the winner, the waitress. They brought her out to the parking lot, where she was then awarded a free toy Yoda.
Like a Yoda doll
from Star Wars. Exactly. So, long story short, the lawyer wouldn't disclose the amount of the award.
I like that,
she
the
won.
lawyer. So obviously a lawyer got involved.
Of course. Well, she was upset, I guess. And did she call the law office of Douglas Viviani?
She didn't. She should have.
Ah, that's too bad. So she sued, and the settlement was large enough where it says right here, it was enough for the waitress to go to a local car dealership and pick out whatever type of Toyota car she wanted.
Wow. Who just paid for that? I have another one similar. 2005 California radio station, not going to name the station, was sued after a contest promised 2 Hummers to the winner, only to hand over 2 remote control replicas of the vehicle.
Toys.
Yeah. No lawsuit.
That's nice. No lawsuit.
Yeah, no happy ending.
Wow.
It was a happy ending for the radio station, but it seems like radio stations get involved in these a lot. Why would they do that?
I have no
These
idea.
goofs switching parts and things and
Playing pranks on listeners.
it's not right.
It's not right. Here's one. And Doug, this is for the younger generation who listens to us out there. Both of you.
Right.
So in a humiliating April Fool's Day prank gone wrong, a girl decided to be completely hilarious and dump her boyfriend over text, only to have him unexpectedly agree with her decision. How do you like that? So she's like, I'm done with you. I've had enough. And he texted back, good. I was going to break up with you anyway.
Yeah, I think that there's a twist on that. No,
There is a twist because he also was kidding.
right?
And that was a twist. And I
They
think
claim.
they claim, right. I think he might have been, with the way social media goes, of course, it went viral and everybody heard about it. And yeah, he's backtracking and said he was only kidding. Maybe we'll have him on the show and find
I'd
out
love
where
to
they
see
are
if they're
today.
still
Would that be
together.
cool?
You have a year on that? I guess it's recent, right?
It is recent.
we'll
Let's
see.
see. This was dated 2015, so it is
All right.
recent.
Interesting. We'll
Recent
see.
enough.
I have one more that's it's sad. A Walmart patron in Maryland called the police when they tried and failed to stand up when they were in the bathroom at Walmart. Some goof put super glue on the seat, and this person could not get off. I guess
So did Walmart was sued? Did they have to pay?
I didn't see that. There's no lawsuit, but
Ouch.
it's not a Walmart employee, and they have to
Right.
notice this lots of stuff. And if you have any questions about that, call the law office of Douglas Viviani on that. You can look up vivianilaw.net. And,
Yeah, they'll provide defense and also super glue if you need it for
Right.
future pranks. All right, so listen. So we were playing pranks on people
Yes.
before, but now we actually have a quiz. I have a quiz for you.
Good.
And we're going to juxtapose, as your favorite word would imply, real reboots versus fake ones.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you a quiz. One answer is going to represent the real reboot,
Right.
and the others are false.
All right, so
you
let me
tell
see.
me which one is
And
real.
I've not seen this, and so let's see what
This
happens.
is totally right, totally new. Which one of the following TV shows is being rebooted?
Okay.
A, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
Okay.
B, Laugh-In. C, Battle of the Network Stars.
Not going to be network stores, too expansive. Laughing, you cannot do. It's too creative. I will say Lifestyles of Rich and Famous.
You are correct, sir.
All right, nice.
Champagne dreams and caviar wishes come true. David Hasselhoff, living in a... All right.
Well, who's hosting it? Do you have no idea yet?
Did he die, the
Why don't
guy
you
who
have
did
Bradford
that?
Marsalis try out to be the host
That's
of that?
true. He could do it in a heartbeat. All right. Which technology is making a comeback? 8-track tapes? Betamax tapes? Remember those? Cassette tapes.
I've heard this one. I'm pretty sure it's cassette tapes.
You are correct again, sir.
Okay, I just heard
Yes.
that like a week ago.
Cassettes are apparently coming back for whatever reason. I'm not sure
Yeah, I
why.
don't get
Maybe
why.
sound quality, I guess, or I don't know.
The album sales
Definitely, albums are back,
They're
yeah.
up like 50% from last year.
Yeah,
so they're selling.
yeah.
They sold 2 this year.
Which of these 3 beers is back in a big way? Not just back, but back in a big way. Ballantine beer, Pabst Blue Ribbon, Schlitz.
I'll just say what I would like to see is Schlitz, but I have no idea.
It's actually Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Okay.
Yeah. I found that out on my own.
In your local tavern.
In my local tavern, suddenly everybody was drinking Pabst Blue. I didn't even know it was around anymore. Oh, yeah, all the younger kids are drinking it, they're telling me. Yeah, how do you like that? Ballantine Schlitz, they went out of business a long
Right.
time ago.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. True or false, a fad from the 70s seems to be making a comeback. Streaking, where people basically run naked through public spaces, is catching on again because apparently at a Hillary Clinton rally, at least one rally, there were a few Bernie Sanders supporters who streaked through the rally, causing a commotion, and now streaking is on the rise. True or false?
Either that, or they were a couple of young ladies running from Bill Clinton's in the green room. He had gotten to them, and they ran out. It's a dirty story that I would say has got to be true because it's so silly.
It is false.
Ah, okay.
Thankfully.
Yes,
Thankfully.
exactly.
All right.
That was horrible to live through that.
I know.
Oh,
that was
man.
really bad
Eesh.
news. Okay. Let's see. All right, here, we're going to do movies. You're a big movie buff.
All right, let's see.
Which of these movies is being remade? Ben-Hur, The Blob, The Birds.
Ben-Hur and The Blob, they've done them many times. And in fact, though The Blob did twice, I have to tell a little story on The Blob. Long story short, I showed Angelica the Blob.
The original? Yeah.
And now I have to put little figurines by her closet doors because they're guarding the door because she thinks the Blob's going to come out and under the door. She talks about the Blob literally every day and has done so for about a month and a half.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and she's asking her kids in her class if any of them seen the Blob. And actually, 2 of them have, believe it or not. But she's obsessed with the Blob.
But does she know? Is she still scared of the Blob? Or
She says she is. I can't believe that.
you're such a good dad.
Says it tongue in cheek. Yeah. So I'm going to say The Birds.
No, it's Ben-Hur again.
Oh, again? The 17 times?
Ben-Hur is coming back. Big
I don't know how you can
extravaganza.
improve on the
Jack Houston. Jack Houston's going to be playing Ben-Hur. I don't know. He's from the famous Walter Houston family of actors.
Right.
Goes back generations. He's
gonna be
great.
horrible.
He's a great actor. Hopefully, it'll be good. All right, here we go. You should know this one. Which sci-fi series is prepping for a reboot right now? A. The Twilight Zone. B. Star Trek. C. Land of the Giants.
Land of the Giants should be, and we're going to do a show on that. It's time, and I'm going to propose that down the line. Twilight Zone, they've done 100 times, not happening. Star Trek, we know on CBS On Demand, is happening in 2017.
You are correct, sir.
Correct, sir.
You are correct. All right. True or false?
Yep. Justin
Bieber will be starring in a sitcom called Leave It to Bieber.
No.
Correct. You like that one?
Yes.
Here we go. A little spin here. Which movie is not being remade? Lethal Weapon, Uncle Buck, Schindler's List.
Well, Uncle Buck is going to be, legitimately, is going to be a TV
show.
series. So
Right.
if you're not making it as a movie, but I'll say that. Lethal Weapon is also going to be remade, so it's got to be Schindler's List.
Yes. God, thank God they're not remaking Schindler's
Isn't
List.
that
You're
gonna be
correct.
Schindler's List, the sitcom?
This-
I mean, it's just like a Hogan's Heroes type. I don't know. Ridiculous.
All right, one more. Which TV show is not being remade? A, The Brady Bunch, B, I Dream of Jeannie, or C, Roots.
You can't do I Dream of Jeannie again.
You are correct.
There we go. And we've got a couple of seconds just to let you know they're doing a Night Stalker, they're doing a Prison Break, they're doing a Charmed, they're doing, we said Lethal Weapon, Tremors, Uncle Buck. Dave, you have a couple more?
They're doing Ace Ventura. They're doing Charlie's Angels again. Believe it or not.
Wow.
Friday the 13th. They're trying to do Green Lantern another time because that was horrible.
Yeah.
Remember Naked Gun?
Yes.
A great movie. They're bringing that back. Can't they think of new ideas? What is going on?
If they did, we'd be out of business. Everything old is new again.
Yay, reboots.
April Fool's
Same time, same
Day.
channel.
It's a great, great day for playing a joke.
There we go. So there's our April Fools. We did the best we can to keep you on your toes. If it's not April Fools and you don't, like if you're listening to this on the podcast or something, remember that we're broadcasting this on the April Fools weekend. So it is apropos. Don't get angry with us. But in any event, return a comments to us on our YouTube page or on our Facebook page or on our Twitter or on our email, which is oldnewagan at AOL.com. Old New again at AOL.com. David Cohen, your last thoughts.
They're remaking The Invisible Man with Johnny Depp. That's an absolute true story. I'm not kidding.
Well, he's doing Night Stalker as well.
Isn't that weird?
It is weird. I wonder if Tim Burton's going to have a.
Why do you need
piece
to
of that
cast someone as the Invisible Man? Isn't the Invisible Man inherently?
one. Really, it's just a voice part.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. You asked.
We had fun.
You asked.
Come on back next week for some more fun. Everything old.